It is a very solid game for the cost.
I didn't think I'd like it when I bought it, and for the first couple of days, I just hated life.
I mean, yeah, we kind of both did.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, me and Zidian come from the Dragon Ball community, where we hit buttons and think later. But I don't know. I think the adjustment's been kind of nice.
Yeah, and it's nice learning a new game with new characters and a whole new game space. It's been nice. I've enjoyed my time here so far. This is also my first Mortal Kombat game, so you know, MK11's treating me pretty nice so far.
Absolutely. All right, and we're going to get into the next match here. It's going to be CitizenSNIPS versus BigBagMill. Now, BigBagMill taking an incredibly solid lead and finishing off strong in the winners finals. So Snips having to make that reset. He's got a bit of a mountain to climb here.
Yeah, I think he might have a slight advantage having just come off that win, because I think he's feeling pretty nice right now. So if he can take some of that confidence and not like panic like he did before. Oof, and it doesn't look like Mill is willing to try to get out of this, or he might not be sure, but that's a huge crushing blow right there.
Yep, and that is a round. Solid stuff there, catching him off guard with the 4 kicks. I believe that is his forward 3-3-3-3.
Yeah.
Dangerous stuff.
Ooh.
And yeah, I mean, good stuff from Snips here. He's putting him in pressure. It looks like Mill is playing a little defensively to try and feel him out, but it might be to his detriment at some point. A strong defense in this game is really, really good. You can kind of just block strings, but after a certain point, you know, you got to take your turn. You got to play the game too.
It might be a little of the Dragon Ball background. He was trying to just block everything, but you have to interrupt him. You can't let him get that 4th kick, because if he does, he can just do it again.
All right, that said, this is exactly what Mill wants. Yep, setting up on that mid-range.
Yeah.
Throwing out mids.
I think CitizenSNIPS has sniffed out that he's unwilling to challenge that kick. And because it just feels like he's a lot more confident.
Ooh, and just as he decides to try and counter it, the low fireball coming through here from Snips. Yeah, I mean, it's a hard situation. It looks like Snips have set up a pretty solid 50-50 for himself here, where he either finishes the string or just hits you with a faster cancel. So it's all a matter of figuring out what he's going to do.
Okay, here we go again. Right to the corner. This is not where Sonya wants to be.
Oh, excellent anti-air coming through from Mill. Going to try and turn things around for himself here. Excellent block on the overhead from Snips, though.
Okay. Breakaway. Very nice. I respect it, because that's a lot of damage.
This is exactly what we were seeing, or Mill was doing to me earlier in friendlies, is he catches whiffs like crazy with those knees and elbows. I don't exactly know the idiom. Mill actually beat this Liu Kang over in winners finals.
Yeah, he did.
It looks like Snips is starting to make some adaptations, but this is exactly what beat him out in the first place.
Ducks.
He's ducking.
Yeah, there we go.
That said, the trade coming through.
I mean, you know, but this is improvement. Tangible improvement from last round. So
100%. We're seeing a lot of adaptation. Previously, when BigBagMill managed to slow down the game and turn things into a projectile
I thought he was
fight,
gonna grab.
Snips kind of buckled under the pressure and went for very risky options. But in this situation now, Sonya is playing her pressure game, but Snips is playing patient as well, and it's working out a lot more for him.
I'm actually not sure that Mills is super familiar with Liu Kang, because he keeps trying to hit buttons after blocking the 4th kick. But
I mean, he is good friends with Kelso, so maybe they have a shared disdain for the character.
They're both just at home. I refuse. I refuse.
We'll practice anything but Liu Kang. Ooh.
Okay, all right. Taking the round.
And another string off of the whiff punish, gonna seal out that round. Solid stuff. Yeah, Snips is primed to make this comeback. He's doing a very solid job. Looks like Mill is finally starting to adjust, has taken a round and brought things pretty close. But, you know.
You gotta be careful jumping over those fireballs, though.
Yeah, I mean, they're a big projectile, and with the speed that they move, you can't really jump over them unless you know they're coming.
There's like one sweet spot where you can jump over to clear both of them, but it's too risky.
It's more like a read than a reaction.
Yeah, I would 100% just prefer to duck the first one and block the second one, if I'm forced to. But right now,
ooh, solid punish there off of the down one. Yeah, caught him hitting too many buttons.
Oh, very nice grab.
F
Catches the roll.
coming through.
Okay, okay. Just walk forward.
And SNIPS is looking like a man possessed.
Yeah. I mean, he's literally Demon Liu Kang.
I see what you did there. Crushing blow coming through, and that should seal out the round. Yeah, in the corner, he's able to get a solid extension off of that launcher.
I like the D2 just to make sure that he did the damage he needed. Mill didn't have a meter to break away anyway, but I like just confirming this is gonna kill you.
Yeah, I mean, better safe than sorry, right?
Yep.
All right, and already we are seeing Mill being pushed in the corner by SNIPS here.
That's a big whiff.
Catches him with the back 3. Gonna knock him back a little bit, but just right back into the blender. SNIPS trying to lay on that pressure. All right, F-throw gonna turn things around though. Mill laying on some hurt of his own, meter burning the projectile there to throw SNIPS off guard.
Okay. And I am feeling like Mill is just getting a little bit caught, like tripped up in his own head over this.
Smart breakaway there. Yeah, the crushing blow would have allowed SNIPS to get a full combo in the corner, so the breakaway is going to prevent quite a lot of damage. That said, he is well within chip range.
Yeah, this is looking like a pretty clean comeback for CitizenSNIPS right now.
100%. I mean, he is 1 round away from getting this bracket reset, and it looks like Mill has yet to find a definitive answer for it.
Yeah, he's just he keeps finding himself in that sweet spot for Liu Kang, and he's not super familiar with how to get out. So it's kind of Liu Kang's game right now.
Well, it's interesting because, like we mentioned before, Liu Kang didn't have an answer to this.
See,
zoning.
like again, he's trying to pressure after he blocks the 4th kick. He needs to just if Liu Kang gets that 4th kick, you have to just let him take his turn.
Yes. And it seems like Mill doesn't really have an answer to this pressure. He's trying to play the defensive game, but now that SNIPS has slowed it down, he's got to be able to just box with him.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's not able to do that right now.
Yeah. Is this the 3rd game or?
This is in fact the 3rd game of this. Oh no, this is the bracket reset.
Yeah, they reset.
Brain.
Okay.
Throwing off my head here, man. Don't do me like that. Solid ring there.
Okay.
Throwing off the dragon kick. And that's kind of what I want to see Mill doing, is just playing defensive again, because it still worked out for him. Even if SNIPS is playing patient, make him work for it. He's got to sweat.
Oh, okay. Here we go. A
breakaway.
Very smart breakaway.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Punishes him going for a little too much in the pressure department, and SNIPS gonna take the round there.
Yeah. I can very easily see SNIPS just continuing to snowball this up until
100%.
because he has the momentum right now.
Yeah, he has reached his inner zen here. He's found that patience that he needs. Even in those strings, we saw him going for those breakaways on the higher damage. Sonya, well known for her 40% and higher strings.
Yeah.
So just, playing patient, using those defensive options, and laying on that damage.
Yeah, that's all it comes down to. You just gotta let Liu Kang do his thing. You gotta get your damage. Oof.
Oh, yeah, right. Very smart. That fireball is in fact minus.
Okay.
As fireballs usually are.
Unless you're Scarlet. Oh. Okay, here we go. Both of them in very low percents right now.
That back throw coming through. Trying to throw him in the corner here. Setting up those projectiles, and that's exactly what we needed to see. Caught him trying to make his way back out.
Very nice. Okay, here we go. This could be a very defining game right here, because this could tilt the momentum even further for SNIPS, or it could start turning it back for Mill.
Oh, big time. Yeah, this right after that reset kind of determines the pace for the rest of the set here. You get to see if that adaptation is finally clicked for the player who was previously in winners, or if SNIPS is just going to snowball all the way through.
I didn't actually know she could charge the second fireball.
Yes, she can slow it down a little bit.
That's messed up. Oof, okay.
Well, not only that, I believe that Mill uses the variation that gives him access to the turret drop, which works kind of like Garrus's, but as an overhead.
Ah, I see.
So it is very dangerous. All right. Something I've noticed here, I believe it's Sonya's forward 2. I don't know for certain, so don't quote me on that. I believe it's her forward 2-1 is the mid overhead. We've been seeing Mill go for a lot, but as we mentioned before, you can cancel the first hit into a low instead or cut it short, and he isn't really doing that anymore. He seems to be getting a little impatient with his block strings, and that's allowing SNIPS to kind of get away with a lot.
Yeah, part of it is, I feel like part of it is just because he's so frustrated with Liu Kang right now that he's not even getting the chance to get into his zone where he can start mixing those options up, because he was definitely doing it earlier today.
100%.
And so I know he's capable of doing it, but because he keeps going for that kick, because he's trying to get the frame advantage, I think, and start up something. But he just has to be more comfortable going for his own game.
Yeah.
Liu Kang's getting to dictate the entire pace a little too much.
100%. I mean, Mill just needs to take a solid deep breath, look inside himself, maybe a few seconds, just nice and clean.
I'm gonna go have a talk with him after this.
And see if he can find a way to get that defense on. He's playing either too defensive or too aggressive. He doesn't take his turn, or he hits too many buttons, and it is really, really hurting him.
And what's kind of interesting is this is like a complete flip of Winners Finals, because we were saying these exact same things about SNIPS during those. He was not being patient when he had to deal with fireballs, and he was just rushing with his dragon kicks. But he's completely flipped the script right now.
100%, yeah, using solid ducks here. You'd think he went back and rewinded the stream just a little bit.
You'd think he'd be playing Gears, just turning back time, just checking in on different timelines where he won. Oh, very nice counter.
Yep, F throw coming through, and that is another game for SNIPS.
Yeah, SNIPS is looking really comfortable right now.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the shirt, you think he'd be missing the reptile, but it looks like the Liu Kang is definitely working out for him.
Yeah. Round 100%. Okay.
All right, yeah, one game away from taking this grand finals.
Yeah, I'm really gonna have to go up there and talk to him a little bit about, at very least, those kicks. Because he's struggling a lot with that, and I hate to see it happen.
Yeah, I mean, you 100% do.
But right now, he's not dealing with it so far. Oh, there he goes.
And the pressure begins. Good, playing a little patient here. Solid catch there from SNIPS, recognized that Mill was just going to keep blocking. Yeah, I think a lot of this is A, not recognizing when the gap is coming through, and B, just not recognizing when SNIPS likes to find that gap. Something that you'll notice after playing another round Liu Kang players for a while is all of them have their tendencies when using that forward 4-3 string. They like to either go for counters, grabs, lows, in SNIPS' case, he likes to go for the low fireball in certain situations, and just figuring out when that is so you can take your turn.
And one of the things with me too, when I was learning this character, I didn't realize that each of those kicks, like when he does the first input, it automatically does the 2 kicks, and then the second input will do the second 2 kicks. But he can cancel it. So because I didn't realize that, I thought he could stop it at any point.
Ooh, there's the crushing blow, and that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
CitizenSNIPS making the bracket reset and 3-0ing Mill for the grand final spot.
He's